Today on Game Pass Daily, Halo Infinite reaches a new milestone. Will Team Green show up at the Video Game Awards? Does Certain Affinity have more in the works for Xbox? And we'll discuss the Game Pass titles coming out this week. That and more coming up next. Before we get into it, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. First up, we got a little inside baseball, once again thanks to LinkedIn, where Ben F., a former product manager from 343, revealed that Halo Infinite has amassed over 30 million unique players. Congrats to the team. Ben led the pre-launch analytic readiness team for Halo Infinite and also worked on the game's adaptability in the gaming market after its launch. We all know the rocky start Halo had as a service-based game. The content was just not there. But in my opinion, 343 has really turned it around, and if you have not played the newest season called Reckoning, it might be a good time to dive back in. The new maps, Prism and Forbidden, are both a ton of fun. They added extraction mode, Forge mode added enemy AI. They just dropped Halo 3 maps made by the Forge community, so it's firing on all cylinders right now, and we are still waiting to get Firefight King of the Hill mode, which should be coming very soon. This is the 343 we want to see going forward. Next up, let's talk about Xbox and the Video Game Awards. We know last year Xbox didn't show up at all to the Video Game Awards, but why? Probably had something to do with the acquisition of a small company called Activision Blizzard, but I digress. This is a new year and a hungry Xbox, so I think it's possible they go guns a-blazing, although some of my colleagues think that Xbox has moved on and will just use their own showcases instead, like the Xbox Developer Directs. And I say, why not both? I'm hoping to get to see a little combat trailer from Hellblade 2 along with a release date. I'd also like to see Stalker 2 with a release date. I expect both of those titles to drop sometime in 2024. Will the Coalition show up and finally show us what they've been working on? Which I have to assume has got to be Gears 6. Maybe Machine Games will give us an in-game teaser for the Indiana Jones game. There are so many projects being worked on by the ridiculous amount of studios owned by Xbox, they really could show anything. How about Clockwork Revolution, the time-bending steampunk first-person RPG from inXile Studios? Maybe we'll see some more on that. An update for Perfect Dark would be nice. Anything really. What's going on with State of Decay 3? I'd like to see something with that, maybe an in-game trailer for that as well. Will Xbox reveal a new IP? We know Blizzard, which is now an Xbox studio, which is just so weird to say, is working on the survival MMO called Odyssey, which was not revealed at BlizzCon, which I thought was going to be. So did people like Jez Gordon. So maybe they wanted just a larger audience to show it off, such as the Game Awards. That could be huge. We know for certain that Baldur's Gate 3 will announce the release date at the Game Awards for an Xbox release. Some optimistic fans think that Baldur's Gate 3 will be shadow dropped for Xbox at the event. But what if it's bigger than that? Imagine Baldur's Gate 3 sweeps the awards this year, and then Xbox does the biggest baller move ever. They announced the likely game of the year will actually be on Game Pass. I'm sorry, but come on, if that happens, that is a mic drop moment. No matter what, I'm getting in that game, whether it comes to Game Pass or not, but damn, would that be sweet. Next up, we know Certain Affinity is working with 343 in what has been rumored for a long time as a Battle Royale version of Halo Infinite multiplayer. Some people believe that it's not a Battle Royale at all, but a new Halo title altogether. We know Certain Affinity's main project is their continued partnership with 343 Industries, which is their biggest. This was confirmed by Max Hoberman, the founder and CEO, on the Bathrobe Cast podcast several months ago. Shout out to Idle Sloth for finding this one. Let's take a listen.
We have three projects, 3.1 I call it today. We have three big ones and one small one. One of them is a continued partnership with 343, which I can't go into the details on. And that's actually our biggest project today. One of them it's actually another totally unannounced relationship, co-development on something very big and very exciting that's brand new. It's an original IP that we're doing. We're doing co-development with them. That's a smaller team, maybe around 30, 35 people. And that's nothing about our relationship there is announced yet. That'll probably won't get announced until December, I would guess. But it's great. It's going really well. I'm very excited about it.
Okay, now I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat for you folks. That second project Max is talking about, he said was in co-development with an unannounced partner and is a brand new IP that might be announced in December. Now, he said this this is about 4 months ago he said this. Like, maybe it's being announced at the Game Awards. Why December, right? This is all rumor, but in early 2022, we heard that Xbox and Certain Affinity were working on a Monster Hunter-style co-op game from Jeff Grubb on the Giant Bomb show. This is what Jeff had to say on the podcast. He said they're working with Certain Affinity on what seems like a Monster Hunter-style game, a Monster Hunter clone, Grubb said. They see this gameplay style succeeding, and Microsoft's like, hey, we should try to make one of those. Is anyone out there gonna pitch one? They're like, we probably can't get Monster Hunter on Game Pass. That would be pretty expensive, but we definitely want a game like that because we see the potential for that to grow and to be a big thing with long-term support. I gotta be honest, it would be cool if any of these projects were revealed at the Game Awards, whether it's the Halo project or the rumored Project Suerte, aka the Monster Hunter-like game. Next up, here are the titles coming to Game Pass this week. Lead your faction and battle for control and dominance over the harsh desert planet of Arrakis. Spice is the most valuable resource in the universe. The spice extends life, expands consciousness, and makes interstellar travel possible. Found only on Arrakis, it is sought out by the most influential forces in the Imperium. Dune Spice Wars is available today, November 28th, on Game Pass for Xbox and Cloud. And if you're a PC player, no worries, the game has been on PC Game Pass for a while now. Scan the landscape for worm sign or risk losing your troops and spice harvesters to colossal standworms who will burst through the dunes to devour them whole. Crush your opponent in combat, best them through political intrigue, and undermine them with your network of elusive spies. Next up, the year is 2030. In a world where corporations rule and the lines between reality and performance are blurred, the public are kept distracted by the violence and excess of a brutal new blood sport, Rollerdrome. Will you have what it takes to become the Rollerdrome champion and unravel the mysteries behind the Matterhorn Corporation's true intentions? Rollerdrome drops today into Game Pass on Xbox, PC, and Cloud. Rollerdrome is a BAFTA award-winning third-person action shooter that seamlessly blends high-octane combat with fluid motion to create an action experience like no other. Dominate with style and cinematic, visceral combat where kills net you health, and pulling off tricks and grinds provide you ammunition in this adrenaline-pumping action shooter. Next, that mine under our town is sitting empty. And wouldn't you know, there's rumors of ancient tech down there that might help us out of this predicament. Round up the posse, circle the wagons, and let's get to building a new home. Collect resources above ground and ores down below so we can get those wealthy bots in here to help us build bigger and we can get the heck out of here. SeaWorld Build drops into Game Pass on Xbox on Friday, December 1st. Break ground on a new frontier as a planet dies around you. Dig deep and build wide to excavate long-lasting starfaring technology while ensuring everyone has the vital water, fuel, and creature comforts that they need. Next up, before we head out, we got to take a look at what is leaving Game Pass in the next 2 days. Leaving Game Pass on November 30th, we got Anvil Vaultbreaker, Battlefield 1943, Battlefield Bad Company, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Grid, Disc Room, and Eastward. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Game Pass Daily on YouTube follow us on Twitter, and join our Discord gaming community.